Hi, Amanda. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. I'm just about ready to get started, so I am going to start sharing my screen. I am recording just in case somebody couldn't make it. They can always watch the recording later on. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Uh-oh. Let's see. It's not liking my no. Let's see. Share. Allows them to share. Yes. Sorry. New my computer is let's see. Yes, there we go. Yes. Let's see if it'll let me share. There we go. It's I had to update my settings. There we go. Share. So you should be able to see my should be able to see the syllabus. Okay,
Yep,
so
we can.
awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just want to make sure the syllabus was up. Go back to here and hit the slideshow. Good, there we go. So, welcome to EDU 665. This is digital game-based learning and design for the Winterim 2024. So the course starts today. The official launch was like midnight last night. And this goes until January 20th, I believe, 11:59 p.m. So it's it's about 18 days of mayhem to get everything done and situated. But by the time, although it's going to be quite a bit of work, by the time you're done, you're gonna have 3 credits towards your degree, and it's quick. And this is a fun activity to do. I'd rather do this than something that's really didactic, that's really extremely busy, and writing 15 papers. I can't do that in 18 days. It would kill me. But this is a different type of alternative course. So this is EDU 665. This is the only voluntary, I'm sorry, this is the only voluntary Zoom session I'm going to have since it's 18 days. And I constructed this course to be completely asynchronous, meaning that once I open it up, it's pretty much packaged and organized in a way that a student can go through module by module, complete what they have to do. And although it is kind of schedule based, should be able to get through everything. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. So my name is Ryan Schaff, like turning off a light, Schaff. I'm associate professor of educational technology at Notre Dame. I've been at Notre Dame since 2010. This is my 14th year now. Geesh. I just ended up getting an award. It's kind of cool. 2023, the Maryland Society of Educational Technology Higher Education Award. So that was just the inaugural award. I'm pretty excited about it still. Before higher education, I was an elementary school teacher, a technology teacher. I was a third grade teacher for many years. Absolutely loved it, but really had a passion for teacher preparatory and helping teachers in professional development. So I ended up going into higher education. The author of 7 books, including the course book, which I'll talk to you about in a second. I'm married. My wife's Rachel. We've been together for over 20 years. And I have 2 boys, one's 16, one is 10, and 2 dogs. I don't actually have a dog with me in my office today, so I'm kind of lonely down here. So just a quick little thing about you. I know there's only 2 of you, Amanda and Vanessa. Thank you for being the brave souls to join me today. I'd like to just hear like 3 interesting facts about yourselves. You can either type it or you can unmute yourself and share. Just any 3 interesting facts you're willing to share with everybody. And remember that this is recorded, so just people will hear it later on if they don't hear it now. Amanda, anything interesting about you that you'd like to share?
Um, I like to go hiking.
Okay.
Over the winter break, we went up to Pennsylvania and we did some hiking. I have two sons. My oldest is in seventh grade, and my youngest is in fourth grade.
Fourth grade. Yep, I remember reading.
Yeah, yeah, and they both really love gaming, so they're super excited that I'm taking this class.
And I
And
told, yeah, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's okay. And they thought it was going to be all about gaming, and I told them no, it's for learning. So
Well, it's gonna have a lot of gaming aspects and stuff. And I in that in your introductory forum, I actually mentioned that you should get your kids to help you. It would be a great way of them helping you with your homework for a change instead of the roles being in reverse. So absolutely, definitely tap into your to your children to help you. It's gaming and learning, but we start off like a 30,000 foot view on gaming. So we'll take a look at gaming in society, gaming and all the, crunching the numbers. Then we'll start to get into the learning component of it. So, but welcome, Amanda. Vanessa, three things, interesting facts you're willing to share with the group.
I'm not very interesting. I have two children. I'm an older student, so my children are grown. My daughter is 32, and my son is a sophomore at Towson. He's 20.
Very cool.
Over the winter break, I saw 6 movies.
Wow.
I like to go to the movies, and we crunched in a lot of movies.
Awesome.
And Education is a career change for me, so I started about 10 years ago being an educator, and I was in middle school for 10 years. And this is the first year I'm now in high school. And I'm hoping that I'll learn some strategies that will help engage the kids. It's hard. I feel like it's difficult with English, but I'm sure you're going to reveal a whole bunch of things that I can use in the English classroom. And I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. So, So I went and saw Aquaman 2 with my son yesterday, and we went and we saw Wonka. I saw Wonka, so I thought I liked Wonka, and Aquaman was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one. What are some of the movies you saw?
I saw Aquaman, not a fan. I saw Wonka, which was good. We saw Poor Things. We saw The Color Purple. We saw Ferrari, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, and we saw Migration.
Yeah, my youngest saw Migration. He said he liked it.
So, yeah, it was cute. So
Yeah,
I think my favorite out of those would have been Wonka or Poor Things.
I liked Wonka a lot. I thought it was great. I'm glad they didn't do like a redo of all the other ones. That it was a prequel and stuff. So, and I like Timothy Chalamet. I think he's an amazing actor. And I'm a big fan of Dune, which he was in number one, and number two is coming out in March. So,
Yeah, Dune. That was one of my favorite books growing up.
I've read every single Dune book there is.
Yeah,
I think
same.
that's like 18 or 19 now. Even his son.
Oh wow. Well, then I'm not going to say same. I think I've read like 8 or 9. So I've got some catching up to do.
So his son Brian Herbert now writes Dune books with Kevin Anderson, who's a big science fiction writer. And yeah, it's about 18 or 19 books so far. So probably tens, 50,000 pages worth of written text. It's quite a the stories are great. They're different writers, where Frank Herbert was very philosophical and very kind of spiritual. His son's more action packed, more like telling you exactly what's happening instead of like the philosophy and all the religion and stuff and all the politics that go on. So, but still,
I don't know if I would like that as much, but I'll give it a chance.
a lot of
I'm a big
people
science
really,
fiction fan, so
yeah. Well, I will say this. I did like how he ended up finishing his father's work. His father passed away before he could finish the series. So he ended up finishing the Dune book, the original Dune story. He finished based on his father's outline. So, I will give them credit to that. So, anyway, yep, we get to nerd out about really good science fiction. I appreciate that. Thank you, Vanessa, and welcome. So son is 20. I did mention that I also graduated from Towson. So very cool and awesome. So thank you very much for just opening up. It's a great, when it comes to online learning, sometimes you can almost feel like a person that's on a deserted island. I try to do these like icebreakers, warm-ups, these voluntary sessions, just to try and start to develop a basic community here. And it's we only have 18 days together, but we can absolutely build a professional learning community together. So thank you. Just a little bit, so I am sharing the screen, just a little bit of the course logistics. So the course text is Game On, using digital games to transform teaching, learning, and assessment. So here is the book, and yes, I am the author, and no, I don't make $1 million off the book. You buying it. When I wrote the book, I was thinking about the course. When I was thinking about the course, I was thinking about the book. So I can't stand how book companies charge an arm and a leg for people to buy, like, spend 100, 150 bucks on a textbook. I never wanted to do that. So what I ended up doing is I went to educational publishing instead. You may have to spend 20 or $30 on a book instead of like 3 times or 4 times as much. So Game On, you're more than welcome to go to Amazon, get a digital copy. You can go and Amazon, it should be available. I think the Loyola Notre Dame Library even has a copy or two, so you might be able to get it there as well. And of course, the Notre Dame bookstore should be able to get it to you. Try and get it as soon as you can. I tried to suggest before winter break that people get a hold of the book as soon as they could. So again, I don't care if it's a physical copy. I don't care if it's a digital copy. Either one is fine. So please make sure to get a hold of that, because the readings are going to be absolutely crucial. I do pick other reading sources as well, but this holds a lot of the practical application aspects of the gaming and learning. So please make sure you get a hold of it. The syllabus I'll go over in a minute. Brightspace is our learning management system. It is, I am an educational technology professor. I do a lot of my instruction online. So my course is going to be, I put a lot, I involve a lot of my effort. I put a lot of effort into preparing the best online learning environment that I can. So when you go in there, I'll show you around to show you, how, navigation friendly I try to make the website. For communication for the course, since it's so quick, I provide you kind of two ways that I kind of keep you up to date. That is, I use Brightspace announcements, and I also use your Notre Dame of Maryland email. Now, when I put the announcements up, a lot of times it will automatically push it out as email as well. But I'd rather, sometimes I think there might be a little hiccup. So what I do is I make sure to put it into the announcements and Notre Dame email. So if you get 2 emails, I'm not trying to spam your email accounts. I just want to make sure it goes out to and you get it. I'm going to send you announcements. Probably not once a week, probably several times a week, since it's an 18-day course. So please, and the way I structure my announcements, I try to give you a little introduction. I try to talk about, a little bit of up-to-date news about the course. I'll talk about what goes on next. I'll try to give you also a to-do list. So this way you can kind of follow. Let me check this off my little bulleted list here and get this done. And I'll show you also how I structure Brightspace to kind of be very user-friendly in that aspect. I provided a help form. So when we go to Brightspace in a few minutes, I put a help form up there in case you have a question. Now, if it's private in nature, if it's something you feel like it's too specific to your instance, you're more than welcome to email me. But if it's a question that you think, well, maybe somebody else might have the same question in the course, you're more than welcome to answer it here. Ask it here. I'll also answer it here as well. But if, by some chance, if I'm away from my computer for 24 hours, or if it's very time sensitive, just feel free to email me. I will try and check this, if not every day, every other day. So this way you can be up to date with the anything that if you have a question. So again, that's in the welcome block, and I'll show you where the welcome block is in Brightspace in a few. So the course description, it really looks at gaming. So we start with a really big view of gaming, in gaming in society right now, just gaming and all the different intersections. There's a lot of philosophical lenses that gaming does it. This course really does focus on the educational aspects of gaming, and just about the, kind of the emerging technology aspects of gaming. But it obviously the course also kind of will give you a crash course. So if you're not a gamer, absolutely okay. If you are an expert gamer, you should still get plenty out of the course. So I won't read that word for word. I'll trust that you can read it. Okay. So at a glance, the course structure. So there's 6 instructional modules. There's 6 for each instructional module. Each one comes with a module plan, which is kind of like point A to point Z. It really takes you through the entire module, tells you exactly what to do. There are seven assignments. Actually, technically, there's 6 assignments with a bunch of discussion forums, which I'll talk about in a minute. I try to provide a lot of learner agency and choice. I know that I'm going to have some library media specialists, some math teachers. I'm going to have some folks that might be special educators. They might, they might be elementary school. They might be high school. They might be middle school. I try to allow you to bring that. I try to craft the assignments to really cater to your professional needs. So this way, if you're teaching a lot of English language learners, obviously you can craft all of your assignments and things to fit those needs. So I try to make it as relevant to you as possible. As I said before, it's online, it's asynchronous. You're able to, this is the only real scheduled meeting we have. And it's, but I also provide you with a lot of frequent announcements to kind of keep you on track. So at a glance, the course topics and themes, it starts off first with the ISTE standards for students and educators. These are the technology standards that are, they're international standards, really what our students really need to thrive in when it comes to using technology, for not just for education, but for life itself, just to, to kind of really develop into, into a citizen, a digital citizen for today and tomorrow. We'll take a look at gaming today, a little bit of gaming tomorrow as well. Looking into the future, the benefits of playing game-based learning. This is not just some sort of like pseudoscience. It's gaming does have a scientific background. It is underpinned with educational theorists and philosophers, and the book will mention quite a few of them. I also talk a lot about practical applications, about finding good learning games that are out there on the market right now. I'll talk about how to integrate games into your classroom. And I also take a look, I also structured the course to do a little bit of higher level application skills, and that is developing multimedia skills, storyboarding, and developing video and stuff like that. And of course, there's online discussion and collaboration. So this way we can build up a learning community. So those are just like the really big, broad topics of the course. So there's 6 modules. Module 1 and 2 I released yesterday. It's digital games in the classroom. There's also integrating digital games into instruction. So module 1 really starts with the big ideas, and then it starts to go into learning. Module 2 is like, well, here's how to actually implement them in the classroom. Module 3 is a little bit more, again, a practical tool, resource that you're going to develop. You're going to take something like PowerPoint and Google Slides. You're going to develop it into a resource that you can use with your students. It's developed something called a nonlinear PowerPoint. We're used to PowerPoint being linear, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, and so forth until you're done. You can develop PowerPoint and slideshows and stuff like that to be nonlinear, where they branch out, where students can make choices and then They can go to another part, almost like those old books that we used to read, which were the kind of like choose your own adventures. They're still very popular. My kids still, my youngest still absolutely loves those stories. But you can build that to be almost a story-based game because the students can make it interactive. They can choose. So, and modules 4 and 5, they're based on you're going to be kind of storyboarding your own game. You're going to make up your own learning game. You're not going to build it or craft it or program it, but you're going to come up with a gaming premise that is its own educational digital learning game. You're also going to craft a game trailer for it too. So again, a lot of project-based learning in the course. So, and again, let me do this. And before I jump into Brightspace, let me talk about the structure of my modules. There are 6 modules. Right now you can see the welcome block and you can see module 1 and module 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6 will open up soon. I don't want to open everything up because it could be very overwhelming. I already feel bad enough having to open up multiple modules at the same time, but 18 days is 18 days. So in each module, you'll find a module, a list of module objectives, what you're expected to get done during that module. There's a module plan, which is a full set of directions taking you from point A to point Z. There's a module video, which is a presentation. It's a video-based lecture that I present to you. And if you can't stand my nasty nasally voice, I'm sorry, but I also include transcripts too. So this way you can read it as well. If you don't feel like hearing this for 20 or 30 minutes. There's reading and resources. So I list things not only from the book, but also from other things that I've curated and found over the years to help you with the subject. There are 6 online discussions that are aligned with the module theme. And then there's also an assignment for each module. So, and inside those assignments, there's directions and resources and examples and exemplars and templates if needed. So I'll get into the nitty gritty as I keep on going. Okay, so at a glance, there's the 6 assignments and there's also 6 online discussions. And I'll walk through each of these in a minute, but let me go ahead, stop and ask, are there any questions as I get up the next screen?
I don't have any question.
All right, Amanda, no problem. Vanessa, do you have any questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Awesome. Okay, so let me go ahead and share again. I am putting up Brightspace. So are you both comfortable with Brightspace? Have you ever been into Brightspace before?
It's what we use in Anne Arundel County.
Okay, very cool. So you should be able to log into Notre Dame. You should have, I know that you both have access because I did see that everybody was on the course roster. So let me hit the share screen real quick. So you can get there a few ways. You can go, you can click on the link inside the syllabus. You can go right to Notre Dame's website and click on, I think it's resources, and click on the Brightspace link. So it's brightspace.ndm.edu. It'll take you right here. So this is my course right here. As you can see, there's the welcome block, which I'll show you in a minute. There's 6 modules. Right now, you can only see 2 of them that are active on your screen, but you can see that I have a couple that are hidden waiting for you. So inside the welcome block, you'll see a course description, the course textbook, even links on buying it, a little bit more information about me. The course introduction, I'd like everybody, I think maybe both of you have done it. If not, no big deal. Just try and do it by Thursday. If you can go into here and just add a little bit of information about yourselves, I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact that, yeah, Amanda, I know that you did it. Vanessa, if you could do it.
I didn't do it yet. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not due until Thursday. No biggie. I use this for roster verification. That way I know that everybody's participating and they're present in the course if they complete this little course introduction. I also look and see how many times you log into the course. So anyway, just go in here and just tell me a little bit about yourself. So you can always go back and forth. You can use these breadcrumbs. to get back and forth. There's the help forum. I'm just going to open it up. If you need to ask a question, look, like Laura already went in just to ask. She says she didn't have any questions. That's great. But you can see that people can ask questions here, and I could answer them, or even if you know the answer, you're more than welcome to answer it. So if you have a question, just hit, go to this help form and ask away. Here is the syllabus. I emailed you a copy of the syllabus. I have attached it to every announcement I've given you, but here's a digital version of it too. Here's the Zoom session slide deck that I'm using tonight. I'm running through this right now, but in case you just need to go back because I said something you liked, or you said something you had a question about, you can always go to, this basically is this whole entire Zoom session right here. This is the slide deck link to it. Okay. So let me go into module 1 and just show you around. So as I mentioned before, each module starts off with an objective and an introduction, and it has this plan. So the plan is all the things you have to do to be, to kind of work through that. Okay, you can see, you obviously will watch the module 1 presentation. You're going to read the first 3 chapters of the book. You're going to complete the module 1 discussion forum. You're also going to begin your play or game diary. Either, sometimes I call it play, sometimes I call it game. It's the same thing. And you just keep on going into module 1. You just keep on going down here. So here's the presentation. This is a video. You'll click on it, and it should open up to YouTube. I'm not going to play it right now because it'll sound a little weird as I'm presenting and you watching it. Here's the transcripts if you'd rather read it instead of listening to me. There's also suggested readings too. If you're interested in the text, there's also, I provide you some supplemental readings too, or resources if you're interested. Online discussions. So here's module 1. So the prompt is here. I also include directions on how to navigate these too. It says, click on this title right here, and you'll see that the prompt is here. You click on start a new thread. You can see Kelly already started to provide her discussion. You can just hit start a new thread, type out what you like. A lot of people like to type it in Word first. That's absolutely fine, just in case there's a hiccup or your internet goes down or something like that. Whatever. You are able to do that, that's fine. I do ask that each of you also provides, you also select 2 of your colleagues to reply to. So please make sure you're also replying to your colleagues. So just to start a new thread, you just click on that and just start typing away. To reply to Kelly's, I would just click on Kelly's and I'd click on reply to thread. Assignments. So as you scroll down, you'll see that there might be a section here that says assignments. A lot of people will forget to actually click on these titles. If you click on this, a lot of times I give you resources at the bottom. I can't let those the resources aren't able to be viewed unless I put them as another item in Brightspace. So what I ask you to do is make sure you click on the assignment title as well. So this way you can see all the directions. I'll go over more of the specific details about the assignments as well. Okay, so as you can see, I've opened up, and again, after you're done module 1, you've done all the work, then you go into module 2. Same thing, module plan, module video, transcripts, supplemental readings, a discussion forum, and it also opens up with an assignment. Please also remember, click on the assignment name, and if you click on that, you can see a lot of times I give you resources. There's rubrics, and there's exemplars, and there's also templates for some of the assignments. Okay, so that's kind of like the walk around. Oh, if you need any help, there's this help form right here. This is if you want to ask if there's something that you're unfamiliar on how to do in Brightspace, you can ask them how to do that. This is manned. We do pay a fee to the owners of Brightspace, so this way it can be they can have support. If you want to see your grades, you go to tools, you can go to grades, and you can see it. If you need to go to the bookstore, you can obviously connect to bookstore. You can click on the bookstore. I do suggest, I know Amazon will be quick in getting you the book if you still need to do it. Also, this is where you get the course eval. So, closer to January 18th, I would suggest that you go here to obviously do your course evaluation. Okay, so that's in tools. I always suggest how to experience the course. You click on content, and it's going to have everything kind of like, you're going to see a directory on the left. You're going to see all the course content on the right. That's how I like to organize it. And the way I do, I link everything so this way you can kind of stay on the same page. So it's not you kind of like, leaving Brightspace. And I know that some of you have experiences with learning management systems, even Brightspace, which is nice, but just in case, I try and keep it all on the same screen for you. So that's Brightspace. Any questions on Brightspace?
I used it last summer and it seemed fine, so I'm thinking I'll be okay.
Okay. No worries. Okay, so I'm now going to go through the assessments. Now, you have to realize is I'm not going to go into all the directions because it's going to be really overwhelming. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline them so you just can kind of get a sense of it. So the first assignment is the game diary. Now, the game diary is not due until almost the end of the course. And I'll show you where all the due dates are in the syllabus, and on I'll show you where all those are in a minute. It'll probably be best if I'll outline it, and I'll go through the syllabus as well, just so that you all are comfortable. But the first thing is the game diary. So I'm going to have you go, and I'm going to actually have you play games. So you can do video games. I'd like you to try and find ones that might be of learning value. Again, the book is going to outline how to find good digital learning games that are out there. You may have heard of some. You may have played some in school already. You may want to experience something. Anywhere from, say, for instance, if you're doing games on code.org, or if you're playing, doing stuff on iCivics, or, if you even find math games that you really like, those are absolutely fine. I've had people use like commercial off-the-shelf games, and they've kind of found educational, application for them. That's absolutely fine as well. Some of you might find a game and say, you know what, that's not the greatest. It's okay. I'm going to be looking that you're able to critically analyze these resources, so this way you can consider maybe using them. So each person, you get to pick if you want to do it on Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or Google Slides or Google Docs or whatever. I let you pick however you want to do your diaries. Absolutely fine with me. But I also dissect the entry for each one. You're going to tell me sorry, kind of ran ahead here. Let me hit slideshow and just play it so it's bigger. So each time you play a game, you don't have to play for hours and hours and hours. You can just play it for a short amount. But the preliminary elements, such as I need you for each entry to give me the title of the game, the genre, what type of game is it? What platform are you playing it on? Who's the publisher? Is there a release date? And sometimes you can't find out this information. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just skip and move on. Give me a game summary, like summarize the game. What's the gameplay like? The design, the objectives, the characters, the storyline. It doesn't have to be long, just a paragraph or two. Do you find some sort of educational value in it? For instance, Tetris. You could probably take Tetris and figure out, again, some sort of geometrical application for it. Or some sort of, you can also do soft skills like problem solving. Absolutely, you can make that connection. And also, I'd like you to give it an overall rating. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why didn't you like it? Why did you love it? Whatever. Think about the educational value. Can you connect it to a potential content area or an objective or a skill that it teaches? And ideas on how to use it in the future in a learning context. So I'm going to ask you to come up with, I want you to play 10 or do 10 entries, come up with 10 games. Sometimes I'll have people ask, well, can I play a game and and do like for 4 days or something like that? No, I'd like you to try and explore around and find 10 days. Sometimes it might be, well, I really love a game. It has a lot of levels. It's a really long form game. Sometimes if they really go into a deep dive, I'll let them do 8, but it has to be a very deep dive into a very useful game. But most of the times I say 10 entries is a complete diary for this short. And you have to find a lot of games. I'll admit it. Some people ask me, well, can I use Kahoot or can I use another gaming platform like that? Those are really kind of gamified learning or gamification type of aspects. I try to get you to find an actual digital game, something that has, and again, the book, when you read the book, I think it's chapter 2, will walk you through the process of identifying what's the difference between a digital game and gamification. So that's assessment 1. That's although I introduce it at the very beginning of the course, it's not due until almost the end of the course. Any questions on the game diary? Okay.
No, that'll be interesting though, because I don't play any games.
That's okay. You'll discover that there's a lot of them out there. Also, the book has a treasure trove of games. Even though the book was written, I think, in 2017, so it's about 5 or 6 years old, a lot of the games are still out there and you can still find them. It also teaches you how to look for them and find them.
I know there was a PD that I took on some dice games like a while back, but you're talking more digital, right? So
Correct.
there was also a PD on Minecraft that I remember.
You can do Minecraft. I don't mind if you find a really good physical like board game that's useful, use it. I don't mind. I don't mind if you pick 1 or 2 that are non-digital. So Vanessa, trying to give you free reign to, if you find a good game that you think you can, obviously play and, and consider and summarize, absolutely you can use it. Okay, so assessment 2, which is part of module 2, then asks you to select 5 games that you find. The nice thing too, Vanessa, is let's say you find 10 games and you're like, oh, there's 6 or 7 of these that'd be really good to do with my students. How do I integrate it into the classroom? What I'm going to ask you to do is take a game and figure out how you would actually implement it in the classroom. So it's not a full-blown lesson plan, but it is a lot of the outline of a lesson plan. So it'll ask you like, what type of objective would the game take care of? Think about Bloom's taxonomy, think about how you would introduce the game, how you would have the students use it in the classroom, how might you even promote all those really, important, important skills in the classroom, like collaboration, reflection, research skills, anything like that. Think about ways to integrate it in the classroom. Again, a lot of free reign here. It could be any subject you want, any grade level you want. I have ESOL teachers that do this. I have library media specialists that do this. I even have higher education instructors that sometimes come in here and they'll think about how to do it. Absolutely fine. So this is, anyway, the Lesson Spark Assessment 2 actually does have a template that walks you through kind of planning this out. So there's an actual template that'll help you complete this. And it doesn't have to be associated with your grade level. It's not like, oh, you're a 7th grade math teacher, you have to pick all math games. I don't do that. No, it's really up to you and how you structure it, how you implement it in a classroom that you might have. And this is not, I'm not being really nitpicky when it comes to pedagogy. I'm asking you to think about, here's a game, how can you potentially implement it? There might be some advice I'll give you to make it a better transition or a better like implementation in the classroom. That's really what I'm going for. So anyway, and I do have examples up in Brightspace to help you. Assessment 3 is you're going to develop a non-linear PowerPoint game. You get to pick your own topic. You get to develop your game. You get to program it to where it'll work with your students. These are not intricate, complicated games. They're just something that might be useful for you. I have some people that do quiz and game show types of things. I have some people that develop like story-based games or reading comprehension or math riddles or puzzles. That's absolutely fine. The only little thing I'll mention that you do is please don't download any of those like Jeopardy templates or game templates that you might find online, because that's really kind of defeating the purpose of learning how to program. And again, it's rudimentary programming with PowerPoint. It's just being able to link things and make things work in a different way. Don't try and download like a Jeopardy game or something like that, because it's the linking aspect, although it can be tedious at times, is a very good skill to learn. Assessment 4 and 5 are related. So assessment 4, I actually get you to conceptualize your own digital learning game. You're not going to like build this in a program. What you're going to do is basically just storyboard it, just like comic book writers would do, or people that are coming up with rudimentary ideas for cartoons or movies and stuff like that. You're going to come up with a mock-up. You're going to talk about a storyline. You're going to think about the characters and the settings of your book, and also what is your game going to teach and how is it going to teach. The nice thing is you're going to become experts by playing a lot of digital learning games. Again, I provide you a template to kind of walk you through the aspects. And again, all the modules will help you and assist you throughout the process. Aligned with your storyboard, I'm also going to ask you to pitch an idea and try and sell this game idea by developing your own trailer, like short commercial based on it. So assessment 4 and 5 are connected. Okay, so it's the same type of game idea that you'll come up with. Assessment 4 would be the storyboard. Assessment 5 would be like the commercial for it. The nice thing is it's almost like developing one big project, because when you develop images for the storyboard, you can use them in your game trailer. If you come up with elements for the game trailer, you can obviously use them in your storyboard. So it's really kind of creating one big project, but in 2 parts. I say that the trailer has to be a minimum of 30 seconds, but it should also not exceed 2 minutes. If somebody creates an excellent 29-second video, I'm not going to fail them. If they create a 121-second video, I'm not going to fail them. But again, I don't give you a lot of rules when it comes to how to develop this. Some people will take PowerPoint and make it into almost like a video with all the animations and all of the with the animations and the transitions. They make it almost into a video. Some people will use they'll use iMovie, or they'll use Go Animate, or they'll find some sort of web application that they really like to kind of develop this little game trailer. Anyway, so you get to develop a game trailer. Now, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, especially in 18 days. I get that. At the very end, almost at the very end of the course, as you're developing the storyboard and as you're developing this game trailer, I'm going to assign you to peer review teams to where you can take a look at each other's projects and give each other ideas and suggestions for improvement. You can choose either to take their suggestions or to ignore them. That's absolutely fine with me. But we do go through a peer review process to make the best product possible. And that's the core. That's the those are all the assessments for the course. So and again, I'll walk you through it with a lot more directions when it becomes needed. I know this was kind of like a bombardment with a lot of information, a lot of stuff right away. Here is a big listing of all the due dates for all the assignments. You'll see that discussion 1, the first post is due January 5th. And then the second one is due, was it the module 1? I want you to also respond to your classmates. You'll see for module 2, there's also the module 2 discussions due on the 5th. And then, of course, for module 1 and module 2, they kind of close out on the 8th. So you have about 6 days to work on modules 1 and 2. You'll see that there are other assignments that are due. So I tried to make this list as organized as possible. Everything that's due, what module it's in, the name of the assignment. You'll see it's a lot of discussion forums. That's because discussion forums are constantly ongoing, and also the due dates. All right. Are there any questions on any of the slideshow, anything on Brightspace, anything on that? If not, I'm going to click on and just show you the syllabus real quick, which I kind of already did show you a lot of what's going to be on the syllabus, but I'll run through just some of the important policies. But any questions before I share the screen again?
No.
Okay.
No.
Awesome. Okay. So here's my contact information, my email, my cell phone. You're more than welcome to contact me by cell phone. Just try and contact me like after 9 o'clock or but before like 6 or 7. It's just, I'll be, at sports activities for my kids. I have to get them off to school in the morning. So please just be aware of that. But you're more than welcome to contact me. Or if you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to email my questions. I'll get you the email back in a few hours. I really will. I'm constantly on my email. Let's see, I already went the course development. There's the book information. And you can find the book for used for relatively cheap. I'm not going to bore you with that. Let's see. Here's the course learning objectives. I won't run through that. I'll let you read it. Structure I talked about. Oh, so for your file names. So you're going to be turning in work like in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. You're more than welcome to use Google Docs. Just make sure that I have access to read whatever you send me. It's absolutely fine with me. Please name your files. So what I suggest you do is do a mixture, like include your last name and also the name of your assignment. Like I did an example for like Shop Storyboard. So this way, because I deal with a lot of digital files, so please make sure you do that. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that I get it to you, and I'll get you that feedback back as well in Brightspace. So you might laugh and say attendance and participation. Well, this is an online class. I ask you, you have to be present, especially in a Winterim class that, it even has less than 4 weeks. It's 18 days. It's 3.5 weeks relatively. They're quick. So please make sure you can be absent by not checking your email and not contacting me if I send you an email, or not participating. The thing is Brightspace is a tattletale. It tells me when you log in, when you don't log in. I even know people that haven't entered Brightspace yet. It's okay. I just want to tell you this: it's okay to be gone for a day, but please make sure not. Try to get back within the next day. So this way you can keep on top of things. I understand January is a busy time of year, but it's 18 days to go through 3 credits worth. I can't cut any assignments off. I'm not allowed to. I have to basically give you the same amount of content I would in an 8-week or a 15-week course. So, long story short, please be present. Don't make sure you're checking your Notre Dame email. You're checking Brightspace constantly. If by some chance you're going to be, you get really sick or something happens, life happens, let me know as soon as possible. We can work it out. I can't, I can only do whatever the handbook for students says I can do. But, if there's an extenuating circumstance and if you qualify, I can give, incompletes, but there are specific criteria in how you do it incomplete. So just be aware of that. late missing assignments. I can accept work late up to 3 days. But I also, you have to realize is at the end of the course, like there are, I think, 2 assignments due at the very last day. I can't accept them after the course ends. So please make sure, if you're running into problems with any assignment during the course, it's fine. I get it. Just reach out to me. But those last kind of assignments at the very end of the course, I can't extend them past the course end date. So please make sure of that. Here's the graduate scale. Here's the assignments and the organization. It says at least 12. It's actually 10. I fixed that on the, I'm pretty sure I fixed that on the syllabus I have put on there. Just if it says 12 for the play diary, it's 10, okay? I used to do 12, now I just do 10. Here's the entire course schedule. I was gonna try and take a picture of this and put it in the slideshow, but it's really hard to get this perfectly. But I do tell you when everything's due, what the due dates are. Here's the topics. Here what the activities and the readings are. So just kind of go by this. It keeps you organized. You'll see here are the dates. You'll see I have modules 1 and 2 are opened up until the 8th. Then module 3 and 4, they open up from the 9th. I have a couple weird dates, 9th through the 15th, 9th through the 18th, 9th through the 18th. So on the 9th, I'm going to open up modules 3 through 5. The reason being is that these take a while. They're project-based learning. So I try to give you as much time as I can in an 18-day course. And the very final module is only 2 days long. That's because it's the peer review process. You only have a day to peer review. So it's not a long time to peer review. But you don't need that long. You're basically just looking at each other's work and giving advice and suggestions. And again, here's that chart on when all the due dates are. Here's the assignments. Basically, inside of Brightspace, it's a much more comprehensive description of them. The university policies. I do have something in here about AI. For this course, you're not writing any papers. In fact, in this course, you can ask for help and advice from ChatGPT and Google Bard and all those. You can ask for advice and suggestions, and you can, kind of brainstorm ideas, but ultimately your work goes into your assignments. But again, I'm kind of like, this course is not, you can also use AI like Grammarly and stuff to improve your writing. If you wanted to proofread your own writing, that's absolutely fine with me. I have no problem with that. Let's see. There's a lot more stuff in here about emergency. Luckily, we're online, so it shouldn't be a problem. The e-portfolio policy, we don't have any e-portfolio artifacts in this course, so you don't have to worry about it. There's the communication email policy, classroom etiquette. I'll let you read all of these policies yourselves. Won't bore you to death on them. Okay, at this point, I'm going to end recording. So let me stop recording.